what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Super excited you made it here today. Today we are going to be talking about a newer brand, the sister brand to Revlon, the high-end version of that, Flesh. The name leaves something to be desired for me. I'm actually a huge, gigantic fan of their stick foundation, and it's really made it into my everyday foundation routine, so I love that. This is the second time I'm trying out this eyeshadow palette, and so it's not necessarily a first impression, but I haven't used it a ton, so I will be, and it's been quite a while since I used it actually, so it's kind of like a first impression all over again. But the palette looks like this. It has a lot of fun colors in it. It's pretty neutral with a pop of pink, and it does look really nice. So we're gonna kind of test out these shadows on camera today and see how they perform. And I will give you the rundown of my final thoughts on whether or not this palette is worth your dollar bills at the end of this video. So if you want to see how to get this look, please keep watching. Okay, so basically, to get started, we are going to be using the Flesh eyeshadow. I think this is just the original. It does not have a name. It's just the original Flesh eyeshadow palette. Looks like this. I really like the neutrals and the shimmers and the pop of purple, so we are going to use as many colors as we can today. I will not be using whatever strange situation is in there for the brush. I love the size of the mirror. I already primed my lids, so I'm just going to go ahead and go right in with the shadow there. I'm going to be using a mix of the center shade and this shade. The center shade's kind of satin. It's not matte, which is kind of a bummer. So I'm just going to kind of mix them and see if I can make a good transition shade. Alright, that looks okay. It's a little pinkier than I wanted, but it'll work. And because I mixed it with that matte shade, it isn't too shimmery. It does have a bit of shimmer to it, but that's to be expected because I mixed it with a satin shade. So, totally fine. So now I am going to go in with a little bit of a smaller blending brush and just use that matte shade just a little bit closer into the crease there and bring it into the inner and outer corners since we're going to do kind of a halo eye. Okay, once you're happy with how that has blended out, we can kind of move and switch gears here. So next I'm going to pull a little bit of a flatter shader brush. It is an IT Cosmetics brush, but I've rubbed the number off of it. That looks like this. And I'm going to pull from this cocoa shade here. It's kind of a reddish brown. I'll probably pull red on the eye, or redder. Still super pretty though. I'm really just keeping this super low in the crease so I don't blend it too far upwards. And I'm going to bring that on the inner corner. Take that original fluffy brush, and I'm not going to add any additional color, but I'm just going to make sure that blends enough upward. Now usually at this point I'm bringing that brown underneath my eye, but because we have this fun pink shade, I feel like I would be remiss if I weren't going to use that pink shade. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna take this NYX Professional Makeup number 13 brush and pop a little bit of that pink on it. So it's not as bright as I thought it was going to be. I'm going to try to take it on a little bit of a more packed brush. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Okay, so the difference is I took a little bit of a packed brush, smaller and denser, and I dipped it into the pink shade, and I just pressed it into the skin in like tiny little sections. So instead of sweeping, I'm just kind of pressing. That looks a lot better. Now I have this fun pop of pink under our eye. I really like that. Okay, so next I am going to pat right down the center of my eye this shade Unveil with my finger. I'm not cutting this because it's really just a halo, not a cut crease eye. That looks so nice. Okay. Last, we are going to take this white shade Expose, and we're going to do inner corner, brow bone, and I'm going to press a tiny bit into the center of the halo. It has kind of a pink reflect. It's pretty. And that is the final look on the shadow. Okay, so for lashes, I'm using my Lashaholic Luxury Lashes in, I think Instaglam is the name. They look like this. They're so pretty. They're just a little bit more flared at the end, but they're pretty natural light lashes. So I'm going to pop these on, and then I will be back to finish lips and kind of talk about my overall opinion on the Flesh eyeshadow palette. Alright guys, so this is the final look before lipstick. So for our lipstick, I'm going to be using my Victoria's Secret Velvet Matte Cream Lip Stain, and it's kind of a similar shade as the shade under my eye, I think. That looks so good. So that is the final look with lipstick. pretty. I love this lip formula. This is one of my favorites. It's funny because it's just Victoria's Secret lipstick, but it is their cream lip stain. It's a velvet matte, so it is matte, but it's so creamy. It's definitely not kiss proof, but it does look so beautiful, and it wears really nice. It looks so beautiful and it wears really nicely, and I really enjoy it. And this is the shade Scandalous. So I love it. They have lots of fun colors. I like their nude one. They have a coral that's really pretty, and this is just a fun pink purple. So this is the final look, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video and learned something new and cool today. In terms of my final thoughts on this eyeshadow palette, here we go. So I really like the color selection in this. I think it is really great for a neutral eye palette. My only wish is I do wish that this center shade was more of a matte transition shade versus a shimmer. We could have done without that one. I just think it would have been better if it's the same color but just matte. And then that would have given us, you know, 4 mattes here that are great for transitions and deepening and that kind of stuff, which I think would have just really added to the overall palette. But other than that, I think it's a great palette. I love this pop of pink. I think it's really fun. These two shimmer shades that we tried were excellent. They applied beautifully with a finger and with a brush, which I really enjoyed. I think this one is super pretty. It's just got this really beautiful, almost green champagne undertone, which looks so nice on the skin, especially when paired with these warmer browns. I didn't try these two out, but I am sure that they kind of perform similarly. When I do my swatch, I'll talk about that a little bit more in the blog post. So be sure to go read that when you're done here. But anyways, as far as color story and how they apply, I give it like a 7.5 out of 10 to an 8. I think it did really well. This guy here was a little bit patchy at first, and it took a little bit for us to blend that out. But other than that, I think it did really, really nicely. I think the colors are nice. This color was really nice. It didn't seem patchy at all. It blended really nicely. So how many times can I say nice or nicely in a video? Let's count. And anyways, guys, my overall opinion is I do like this palette. I think it's a fun one to travel with if you are wanting to be kind of minimalist but still have that pop of color. It would be great for a weekend trip. The packaging itself is kind of soft touch, and it feels really sturdy. It's got some weight to it, so it doesn't feel like a drugstore palette. It feels really nice, and it looks really nice. I like that it's almost book-like. And I like that it says Flesh on the front and then gives you all the names on the back, which is nice so you can refer to that. But yeah, I think it's made really nicely. It's got a nice weight to it. It looks really nice. The pan size are a good size. I'm impressed overall with it. I think that it is a really great little palette to have in your collection. Let me double check what the price is on this. So I typed in Flesh Eye, and the first thing that pulled up was eye eating bacteria, which is exciting. Okay, so it's not a cheap palette. So this is the Flesh Color Eyeshadow Palette, and at Ulta Beauty, it's $38. That's kind of a lot, but it is a good palette. Is it in the range that I would put other $38 palettes? I have a hard time saying yes to that. The Flesh Beauty is actually like a sister brand is actually a sister brand to Revlon. So they're made by the same company. This is just the high-end brand for that company, which is kind of cool. But in terms of whether or not this is worth the $48 price tag or $38 price tag, I'm gonna say no. That's really hard to say because, you know, people have different preferences and things like that. Would I spend $38 on this? Probably not. I would rather spend like $42 on an Anastasia palette and just spend like the extra $4 and have a more high quality product. I think I would rather spend the extra $4 and get like an Anastasia palette versus picking up more of these, especially because I don't feel like it has enough mattes. There are just a little bit of too many issues for me to comfortably spend the $38. That being said, it feels like a $38 palette. Like, the packaging is great. This mirror is so impressive to me. It's huge. You can see your whole face in it. The whole way that they've constructed the palette, I'm super impressed with. It's just when it comes down to it, quality-wise, I would rather reach for something that's just like in the $40 price range, just a couple dollars more, and get something better than the Flesh palette, which I hate saying because I don't want anybody to think I'm crapping on Flesh, but I also just struggle with the brand name a little bit. But that's just my truth there. You guys can decide for this for yourself if you love it or don't love it. It is a fun little eyeshadow palette, so if you have the money and you want to spend it, go for it. If you are kind of more on a budget and looking for things to really save your dollars and get the most out of your money, I would probably pass on this. So that's my 2 cents on this Flesh palette. I hope that it was helpful for you guys and that you learned something new and cool today. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. I upload every Monday and Thursday most of the time. And I would love to have you guys join the fam over here. Let me know what you guys want to see next in the comments below. And if you have any specifics, be sure to drop them down there. And I love to do videos based on what you guys want to see. So I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your week or weekend. And I will be sure to catch you guys in my next video. Bye, guys!